Rescuers trying to help a sperm whale which is stranded on a beach in Norfolk. Experts believe the chance of it surviving slim. It's the sixth sperm whale to beach itself in the UK in the last couple of weeks and the 29th stranded in Europe. So, what's causing this? Let's speak to Jeffrey Ventre, who is a former SeaWorld trainer and is now an animal activist campaigning against the captivity of orcas. Joins us from Washington via Skype. Thanks very much indeed for joining us again. Tell us about sperm whales. What could possibly have happened?
Okay, just for clarity, I'm not a marine mammologist. I'm a medical doctor with a history of working with captive animals. But I do know a little bit about these mass strandings, and there's a great book written by Josh Horowitz called War of the Whales, with a friend of mine as the character, Ken Balcom, who is a marine mammal expert. And a lot of these strandings have been related to the military's use of ultrasonar. And I bet you if the UK government or folks that were interested were to take a deeper look into these strandings, they might find military exercises that coincide with these strandings at various locations and over a specific time period.
So talk to us more about that. What could happen? The sonar is impacting on the pod, and they don't know where they're going, and they beach themselves.
Yeah, over the last 10 years, the U.S. Navy and other navies have developed what's called ultrasonar, and the whales rely on basically their sense of hearing to navigate. They have echolocation, and their hearing sense as their most highly developed sense. Like humans, vision is our most highly developed sense. So they rely on hearing and have very sensitive hearing. Most people know that water is a very good conductor of mechanical energy like sound. So sound waves are amplified in the ocean. So if you have naval exercises that are going on using something called ultrasonar, basically it shatters the equivalent of the whale's eardrums, and then you find these mass stranding events. I would put that at the top of the differential diagnosis as to what caused these strandings. Other causes might be disease, but I bet when all of the onion is unpeeled, you'll find that human activity in some way contributed to these mass strandings, and it's an ecological disaster. These sperm whales have the largest brains on the planet.
Goodness, if that's the case, then shame on us. If they do come and they are beached, and then we've seen the efforts to try to get them back out to deep water, not much chance of them surviving, is there?
Right. There was an article in The Guardian that I happened to read yesterday, I think it was, that talked about once the whales have stranded, their prospects for survival are quite low. In fact, people can become injured trying to help these stranded animals. So, yeah, by the time they get to that point, their prognosis is poor.
And that is because?
Because they're pretty much, I don't want to use the term dead already, but close to death already. There's not a whole lot that can be done.
Okay, and is that because they find themselves out of the water and all of the pressure that is on their internal organs, or is that because they've become so discombobulated because of the sonar interference?
I don't know what the primary cause of death would be, but certainly a multi-ton animal without the buoyancy provided by salt water can only stay in a beached circumstance for a finite period of time before organ damage happens. But I'm not exactly sure of the pathophysiology that is caused by the ultrasonar as well. So they might have some. I know that Ken Balcom has done necropsies on these beached animals, and what they've found is that they actually cause hemorrhaging in the brain. So the animals might have, the primary cause of death might be brain damage, and then secondary cause of death, suffocation, for example. But it's really hard for me to say because this isn't my area of expertise.
How many sperm whales do we have left in the world?
I don't know. I think sperm whales and even killer whales, something that I'm more familiar with, are really hard to count because they traverse the entire oceans of the world. And so a lot of times animals are counted more than once. So it's really hard. That's what the value of a photo identification study is. Sperm whales are known to be one of the deepest diving animals, if not the deepest diving animal on the planet. And so they are really hard to count. We do know that they live in family groupings and like to feed on giant squid and have language and communicate just like other types of animals, and their brains are the largest on planet Earth.
Okay, it's good to talk to you, even under such challenging circumstances. We appreciate you taking the time. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.